Que lo que mi gente, what's up everybody? It's your boy J-Rod and welcome to the channel. So today's video, we're gonna be talking about 5 things I don't miss about living in the Dominican Republic. Now, the other day I did record a video, 5 things I do miss about living in the Dominican Republic. So if you're interested in that video, I'll leave the link to it right here. All right, by the way, in this video today, I'm wearing a jacket that one of my subscribers sent me. Thank you, I really do appreciate it. It's crazy that people, they do actually send me things in the mail. You know, I'm not as active as I used to be on YouTube, but the fact that people still be sending me stuff or like DMs and they just say like, man, J-Rod, like I love your videos. Even on videos I did like years ago, people are still like hitting me up to this day. But yes, this is a Mexico Adidas jacket from one of my friends from Mexico. So I really do sincerely appreciate the gifts that you guys send me. Like I said, y'all don't have to do that, but I do appreciate that. So thank you for the support. All right, so we're just gonna get straight into this video. This video is mostly about Santo Domingo. However, some of the things on this list, it kind of does apply to the whole island. And there are actually way more things I can put on this list, but I'm only doing the top 5. And they're not in any type of particular order, so I'm just gonna go ahead and give you number 1. All right, so we're gonna get to the first thing on my list. So originally I was gonna put traffic as my number 1. However, after me being a truck driver, it's like now I'm kind of used to being in traffic because I'm literally in traffic every single day with my job. So, and also having lived in big cities, like I'm kind of used to the traffic. And yes, the traffic is a pain in the ass in Dominican Republic. However, that is not going to be on my list. All right, so my number 1 thing I got on my list is the scams and the panhandling, okay? So this by far is probably, matter of fact, I will order this as like my number 1 thing that I hate the most about that country is definitely like the scamming. It's just scams left and right, left and right, left and right. You know, everywhere you go as a gringo, someone's just gonna try to like get over on you when it comes to like buying something. Everything has to be negotiated, and you know, after a while it just gets old. It's just like, can you please just sell me whatever you're trying to sell me for the correct price, or if I'm taking a taxi, just please give me the correct fare. Like, I don't want to have to keep like fishing and fumbling trying to figure out like how much the original price is. Now, of course, once you live in there, you kind of get used to it, and you just kind of start knowing things like how much certain things cost, but it is still kind of a hassle to have to do that every single day. Every single day, okay? Every single day you are gonna get faced with a scam or somebody trying to like get over on you with some type of money. In addition to that, the people like begging for money, okay? Like, so I already talked about this in my other videos that like, you know, when I was brand new to the island, you know, I used to just help every single person that came my way. Like, I just felt bad, so it was like, anytime somebody came up to me, I just felt like I had to like be their savior or to help them. But then, you know, you start finding people that start to use you and take advantage. And once again, that gets old, you know, building relationships with people, and then it all just kind of like falls apart once like money gets involved. Even when I go back to the States, it does not stop. It's like, it's just a constant thing, like almost every single day. So that does get a little bit annoying after a while. You really got to know how to choose your friends wisely when you're living in that country, because there's a lot of fake people, bro, especially if you're a gringo. Side note, I will say this, the worst country I've ever seen in terms of like the people selling you stuff is definitely Egypt. However, the difference between Egypt and Dominican Republic is, at least in Egypt, they're actually legitimately trying to sell you stuff. Dominican Republic, these people will straight up just like tell you their problems and expect you to fix them, like with no hesitation. Like, they don't have no shame. They're like, they will literally tell you everything that they're going through in life, and because you're a gringo, you're just expected to like help them with their situation. And it's like, damn, I barely know you. You already expecting me to pay your rent, pay for cavities, pay for milk, pay for damn flat screen TVs. Like, it's just, the list goes on and on. So yeah, I would say that it does get a little bit out of control in that country. Like, I'm not even gonna lie. All right, number 2, the second thing I don't miss about living in the Dominican Republic are the constant power outages. Like, now this one is kind of it can be a little bit frustrating in the beginning. Now, depending on where you live, like I know in certain places, like in the upscale areas, they don't deal with this as much. Or some of the houses that have, I think they're called like inverters, where basically when the power goes out, you're able to flip a switch and then you have electricity. But there are certain neighborhoods that I used to stay in where the power just randomly go out, and it's just like, damn, and it could be going out for hours. I know there was this one neighborhood that I used to stay in, and the power, it would go out exactly at the same time every single day. and it'll be like for 5 hours and then it'll come back on. So if you do plan on moving to the Dominican Republic, I highly recommend you to get an inverter in the house, because that's gonna be a lifesaver. When the power does go out, you will have electricity. And it's funny, just like the other day, I was helping my friend with a job application. He had to take like a test. It was something on the computer, and we were going through the quizzes, and then we got all the way down to the submission, like right when he was about to submit the application, and the power went out. So we had to redo that whole application the next day, and it took about 2 hours to get through it. So yes, definitely get an inverter, please. All right, the third thing I don't miss about living in the Dominican Republic are the mosquitoes. So this kind of ties into the second thing that I was talking about. So when the power goes out, you do have to open up all the windows because it does get hot. And when you do that, that's when all the bugs and the mosquitoes come in. So yes, the mosquitoes, they will tear your ass up. Now, there are some home remedies that you can use to like fight off mosquitoes, and people actually have wrote them in my channel. Like, they've given suggestions on how to deal with the mosquitoes in the Dominican Republic. But yeah, it can get pretty bad. Maybe like after a few months, you do kind of get used to it. But when you are first there, like if you are fresh coming out like the States or like Europe or Canada, wherever you're coming from to travel, definitely you need to bring like some type of insect repellent or something, because the mosquitoes are no joke in the Dominican Republic. They even have like mosquito nets that you put in the house. So I'll put like a little video right here, but I use these over my bed in the Dominican Republic, and that helps tremendously. But yeah, like there are little remedies that you can do. I just don't know them off the top of my head, but some Dominicans who actually live there, they're giving me suggestions on how to deal with it. But yeah, mosquitoes, they ain't no joke. All right, number 4, this one is kind of irritating, I'm not gonna lie, but the customer service. Okay, so I have mentioned this before in other videos, but the customer service is just completely different in the DR versus back in the States. Back in the States, customer service is everything. Like in every job you work, customer service is like the top #1 priority. But over in the DR, it just seems more of like an afterthought. And I'm not saying that they don't have good customer service, but a lot of times you really ain't gonna really see that unless you're like on a resort or maybe like a high-end restaurant or maybe a high-end club. You might get some good customer service. But yeah, for the most part, I would say that the customer service is pretty subpar. Like even when you go out to eat, you might have to run down your waiter like 15 times to get a refill, or if you go into a bank or somewhere or a grocery store, it's like people just be taking their time. Yeah, that one right there is the one that bothers me the most. It's like when it be like a long ass line and it's just like they just over there chatting or texting on their phone, and just, you know, it just seems like they don't care about their job, which I guess that's kind of like an island thing. Everybody's like laid back, but at the same time, when you in places like hospitals or like the doctor's office, it's like, come on now. So yes, when you do come to the Dominican Republic, do not expect exceptional customer service. You know, sometimes the people might even look like they got an attitude or annoyed, but that's just how it is on the island. So you do get used to it, but if you're not familiar with that type of customer service, like I told you, in America, where everything is about service, like literally every single thing, is the complete opposite in the Dominican Republic. All right, and then real quick, my last one, number 5, this kind of ties into like the slow customer service. Because of slow customer service, you do have a lot of long lines, okay? So when you come to the Dominican Republic, one thing you will notice is that it is a line for everything, okay? If you gotta go to the bank, it's a long line. If you gotta go to Western Union, it's a long line. If you gotta go to the doctor's office, it is a long line. And don't let it be like a public hospital, because you're gonna be there for the whole day. It's gonna be hours upon hours, okay? And once again, because they move kind of slow, the lines move kind of slow. So that is something that you will have to get used to. Like just going into the grocery store, it'd be super long lines. And yeah, if you're not really used to that, it can be kind of annoying. Like, all right guys, but that is my top 5 list for the things I don't miss about living in Dominican Republic. Obviously, there are way more things I do not miss about living in DR, but those are just kind of the 5 ones that stood out to me the most. But put down below, what are the things that you don't like about vacationing or visiting in the Dominican Republic? Like I told you, I love this country. I did do a video about 5 things I do miss about it. But like I told you, I did already link this in this video. But yeah, guys, if you got any questions, you already know where to hit me up. But don't forget to like and subscribe, and catch you in my next video. All right, hasta luego. y'all.